Hello and welcome to our coverage of the ongoing elections. I am Vishal Dahiya and today we will talk about Himachal Pradesh and the National Capital Territory of Delhi. So let's begin our special segment, Rajyanama.
अगर जो नहीं जानते तो मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बदलना पड़ेगा जो पार्लियामेंट ही कर सकते हैं।
सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि ईवीएम के ऊपर भरोसा नहीं बचा है
और देश की सुरक्षा के लिए जान भी कुर्बान कर।
So the national capital Delhi is set for an interesting contest with the candidate list of the Congress and the BJP both having political stalwarts including a former chief minister and two famous sportspersons. The ruling Aam Aadmi Party will complete the triangular contest in this city-state. While the BJP has fielded cricketer Gautam Gambhir from East Delhi, replacing its sitting MP Mahesh Giri, the Congress has fielded Olympic medal-winning boxer Vijendra Singh from South Delhi. The Congress, which does not have any MLA or MP in the Delhi currently, has announced a strong list of candidates with hopes to regain strength in a region where it ruled for 15 long years. Former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit is in the fray from Northeast Delhi. The Congress has also fielded former Delhi Congress Chief Ajay Makhan from New Delhi. The party had been in talks with the Aam Aadmi Party for weeks to fight unitedly against the BJP, but the two sides could not reach an understanding. The BJP has also announced all its 7 candidates from Delhi, retaining 5 of their 7 sitting MPs. Udit Raj and Mahesh Giri have been replaced by singer Hansraj Hans and cricketer Gautam Gambhir, respectively. Polling for Delhi's 7 seats will be held in the Phase 6 on 12th of May. Okay, so let's take a look as to what exactly is the scenario in the national capital of Delhi as far as the previous Lok Sabha polls and the situation in the assembly polls is also concerned. And for this, we will be joined by my colleague Tina Jha from our data center. Tina, over to you.
Well, thank you, Vishal, and welcome to our election data center. I am Tina Jha. The national capital accounts for 7 Lok Sabha seats. Traditionally, it's been a direct contest between the BJP and the Congress party here. The Aam Aadmi Party is relatively new in the poll fray as far as the Lok Sabha elections here are concerned. This would only be the second time that the Aam Aadmi Party are contesting the general elections. Now, let me first show you the party positions in 2009 Lok Sabha polls. 10 years ago, the Congress had won all 7 parliamentary seats in the national capital. But 5 years later, in 2014, the scenario changed completely with the entry of the Aam Aadmi Party and the growing popularity of the BJP, in particular, so to say, Narendra Modi. In the 2014 general elections, riding high on the Modi wave, the BJP wrested all 7 seats from the grand old party. New entrant Aam Aadmi Party gave a tough fight to the BJP. Although it did not win any seat, its candidates finished in the 2nd place on all 7 seats, relegating the Congress to the 3rd place in the city-state. Now, in 2009, the Congress's vote share was 57% when it had won all 7 seats in Delhi. The BJP, with no seat, got about 35.2%, while a little more than 7% votes were polled in favor of others. But in 2014, the BJP increased its vote share by more than 10%. It got 46.63% votes in 2014 and swept all 7 seats in the national capital. For the Congress party, it was a huge setback, which got only 15% votes in 2014. A huge chunk of the votes, about 33%, were polled in favor of new entrant Aam Aadmi Party, while 5% votes went into the kitty of others in 2014. Now, this time around, in a bid to prevent the BJP from repeating its 2014 performance, there were attempts, Vishal, by the Congress party as well as the Aam Aadmi Party to seal an alliance in Delhi. But the alliance talks hit a roadblock, and both parties have now fielded their own candidates, which means the national capital will witness a triangular contest once again. So it would now be very interesting to see if the BJP is able to repeat its 2014 performance, or will the Aam Aadmi Party retain the political dominance it has in the Delhi Assembly, or whether the Congress party can script its revival. Over to you, Vishal.
Well, okay. Thank you, Tina, for all that information there. It looks like a very interesting situation as far as the national capital of Delhi is concerned. 2009, 7 to Congress, and 2014, all 7 to the BJP. So let's see what happens this time around. And for a discussion on this, we're joined by a distinguished panel of guests in the studio. Let me start by introducing them to you, beginning with Professor Sunil Chaudhary from the Department of Political Science, Delhi University. We also have with us Mr. Prafulla Ketkar, the editor of Organizer. And we're also joined by our editor-in-chief, Rahul Mahajan. Let's begin with you. Specifically, Rahul, let me start with you only. If you look at the situation from 2009 onwards, 7 to Congress, then 2014, 7 to BJP. This time around, it's a triangular contest, but it was the same scenario in 2014 as well. The Aam Aadmi Party did have, a significant chunk of votes, though it did not manage to win any seats. What is the difference you see this time around between 2014 and 2019?
The scenario has completely changed. Actually, if you look at the 2009 elections, Aam Aadmi Party was not there, and the contest was directly between Congress and BJP. Then in 2014, Aam Aadmi Party entered the whole contest, and they did pretty well as far as their shares are concerned, and they have their vote share is concerned, and they have given a tough fight to BJP. This time around, Congress has chosen their candidates very carefully, and they have, if you look at their the candidates, and you can see that all old guard and new people, they have a mix of candidates, and it appears that Congress is up for a good fight in Delhi itself.
Okay. Let me bring in Praful here. Praful, going by the facts and figures, and as Rahul pointed out, the way Congress has rolled out all its big guns in the national capital, Delhi, looks like, they do not want to leave anything to chance. But if that's the case, then what was all that, to and fro about an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party? It will happen, it won't happen, then it will happen, it won't happen. Quite a lot of, changeovers which happened in the last 2 weeks.
See, we need to understand that what changed from 2009 to 2014, as your numbers show. 2019, Congress had, 57% of votes in Delhi. Mm-hmm. Now you see the 2014 scenario where BJP, what happened to that, 57%? 15% remained with the Congress, 33% shifted to AAP, and 10% shifted to the BJP. Now, 2014 was the case up to almost 2016 when AAP was at its peak. Mm-hmm. Now, in 2019, the scenario is actually very dicey for Aam Aadmi Party. And therefore, if you see the journey, since then, actually, Aam Aadmi Party is at its lowest point today, and that's why they were keen to have the larger alliance, not limited to Delhi, but also spreading over to Punjab and Haryana.
A trick to apply to minimize their
losses. Now, Congress clearly looks to be in a revival mode. If you see in between, Ajay Makan taking over as the Delhi state president, and he coming on roads, agitation. So without having single representative in the assembly, Congress managed to show some kind of opposition to Aam Aadmi Party, because it knows very well that if there is a tussle for vote share, it is actually with Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay.
So what Congress is looking now, especially the Delhi unit, there was some kind of thinking, it seems, at the central level, but Delhi unit seems to be very clear that once we lose the ground and we give some space for AAP again, then it will be very difficult for Congress to revive, and that's why it seems they have decided to, and really big guns, since people like JP Agrawal and Sheila Dikshit themselves coming in the field, and Ajay Makan and Vijender on the other end. It's Congress looking to revive its lost ground.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party effectively have the same vote bank, which they are trying to lay claim over. Let's bring in Professor Chaudhary here. Professor Chaudhary, when Aam Aadmi Party entered politics, there was a lot which was being talked about, and there were a lot of expectations as well. Few years down the line, now when these elections are happening, despite the fact that Aam Aadmi Party has a brute majority in the assembly, why do you believe they were not that confident to go it all alone? Rather, they were trying to have an alliance with a party which they voted out of power a few years back.
That is true. Like, if you see how Aam Aadmi Party started faring after winning that election for assembly, the first reflection could be in 2017, that municipal ward elections for 272 seats, and here the performance of AAP was very pathetic. So this is how there was a resurgence of BJP right from the ground level. Second point, I would say that had this contest would not been triangular, so both Congress and AAP could have come together, then fight could have been interesting. I'm not saying that even in that case BJP is going to lose all 7 seats, or it's going to, but the competition could have been very tough. Important point is that AAP seems to be a good contender for this for Delhi, but Congress with important leaders like Sheila Dikshit ji or even Ajay Makan ji, Congress position is slightly better than Aam Aadmi Party, at least for Delhi. I would say that the important loss which AAP had done in post assembly elections victory is that its important leaders, the policy makers, those who were very strong as far as organization is concerned, like Yogendra Yadav ji, like Anand Kumar ji, they all left Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay.
So and when we see making a comparison between assembly constituencies and parliamentary constituencies are huge constituencies. So here that the cleavage politics and your vote bank politics doesn't make much difference, because you have voters across ages, across classes, across sections. So that cleavage politics, like you are going to have your votes only from the slums to have better leverage.
And this being the national capital, national issues also are dominant.
So issues are going to be very important for the elections which are going to take place on 12th of May.
Okay, let's have Rahul's viewpoint as well. Rahul, talking about Aam Aadmi Party and then the way both Praful and Professor Chaudhary are pointing out here, if you look at this scenario, the situation specifically, from your point of view, in terms of the way this entire tussle back and forth between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress went about, has that ended up, bringing some minus points for Aam Aadmi Party here in the fight?
Look, if you analyze these things from the point of view of Aam Aadmi Party, it appears that Aam Aadmi Party is not that confident about Lok Sabha elections as they were in 2009 in other election, or in when they won assembly elections. They were very confident after that, but today it seems by the way they were wanted to have an alliance with Congress that both Congress and Aam Aadmi Party are not very confident of winning in Delhi.
Okay.
And if you look at 2014 results, all 7 seats were with BJP, and if we look at the Lok Sabha election campaign right now, with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the center of this election campaign, it appears that BJP has that kind of advantage. And if you look at the candidates BJP has given in BJP. They have also tried to add some glamour quotient by bringing in Gautam Gambhir and Hansraj Hans. So they have tried to give a good, you can say that lineup for the Lok Sabha election in Delhi.
Okay, one more thing, Rahul, since you mentioned the glamour quotient and two candidates which the BJP has brought in, Hansraj Hans and Gautam Gambhir. Another aspect is when we look at, the elections in Delhi, we see that time and again, almost every time, there is one or the other, celebrity candidate making his or her debut from the national capital. And this time around, it is not one but three. If you look at between Congress and BJP, there is, boxer Vijayendra Singh also being in the field from Congress. And Aam Aadmi Party's candidates, obviously, all of them are the first-time contenders, or some of them rather. So, in terms of celebrity quotient, how do you see this situation? All parties are trying to use that to their benefit?
Vishal, are you asking me this question?
Yeah, Rahul, I'm asking you, yes.
Look, actually, parties look at these things in a very different way. They analyze the seat, a particular seat, and they see that what is required in that particular seat. What kind of candidate will be able to win that seat?
Okay.
And generally, in these days, when the elections are analyzed before the constituencies are analyzed before they decide, the parties decide about the candidates, they look at only one criteria, that is the winnability. And BJP feels that both at in East Delhi and you can say Northwest Delhi, both these candidates can make a difference as far as the winnability factor is concerned.
Okay. Praful, on another aspect which Rahul pointed out in terms of the BJP strategy and the campaign, the way their campaign is going on, and the kind of candidates which they have chosen, out of 7, these 2 are the celebrity candidates, but the rest 5 are the sitting MPs which they have repeated. So how do you see the situation? They are defending all 7 seats. They were winner on all 7 seats in the previous elections. It was a triangular fight in 2014 as well. And this time around, obviously, BJP would want to retain all 7.
Certainly BJP would like to, and because from entire national perspective, if you see the parliamentary election, Delhi, all 7 seats are always crucial and they are keenly watched. In terms of numbers, in 543 they look very tiny, but generally it is the case that, where Delhi goes, that party has a better chance to form the government at the center.
Okay.
So this, combination of having right kind of candidates in each and every constituency. See, the old Outer Delhi constituency, which was later merged with the South Delhi one, Ramesh Bidudi has his own standing in the all adjacent rural localities of South Delhi. Caste equation is in his favor. Vijayendra specifically brought again for the same reason. Now AAP has come up with a person like say Raghav Chadha, for example. He may be looking very apt candidate as far as when the kind of South Delhi perception we have. But does that South Delhi really vote? How many of them actually in terms of percentage?
Okay.
So that's why Ramesh Bidudi has a very strong hold, and he has been retaining that seat for a long time.
Okay.
Similarly, if you go for each and every constituency, you will find this kind of equations like Manoj Tiwari fighting, where the Eastern UP and Bihar, voters from that region, they are dominating in numbers. Aam Aadmi Party actually got advantage of this.
Okay.
But now it seems, with the kind of majority they have, they they are not talking about Lokpal, they are not talking about, you know, clean governance, they are not talking about women's security, which were the key issues they were fighting on, and what they are talking today is actually the full statehood for Delhi.
Okay.
And what will happen because of that? 85% of Delhiites will get jobs in Delhi itself, and 60 even you know, if you secure 60%, you can get admission in the colleges. But where are the colleges that you were you promised to create? Aam Aadmi Party is not ready to answer. That's why they are looking for alliances on the one hand and different kind of issues on the other hand.
Okay, that brings me to Professor Chaudhary. As Mr. Ketkar is pointing out, if you look at the issues, there are issues with respect to every constituency as well, and since Aam Aadmi Party is the incumbent as far as the state government is concerned, they have a brute majority. Obviously, BJP has a central government. They were in the power for 5 years and they had 7 MPs. But if it's a triangular contest, it's the Aam Aadmi Party as well which will have to answer all these questions and issues. Will it be just national or will it be local as well, or is it going to be a mix?
No, for national elections, the issues are going to be very national at all. I think for the 7 constituencies, if you observe minutely, there are 2 constituencies where you could find a very serious fight or tough fight, I would say. One is the East Delhi constituency, where BJP has actually brought about replacing Mr. Mahesh Giri and bringing another candidate for that. Second is the South Delhi constituency, where Udit Raj had some problems with BJP and some sting operation had taken place against him. So BJP didn't give him a ticket from South Delhi, and we have Hans Raj Hans.
Northwest. That's
Hans Raj Hans. So, so replacing these 2 candidates, Mahesh Giri and Udit Raj, that was, I think, the party might have thought that it shouldn't lose these 2 seats. When we just compare the BJP seats in eastern part of the country, where Manoj Tiwari is fighting against Sheila Dikshit, an Aam Aadmi Party candidate. Had it been Manoj Tiwari vis-a-vis Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, it would have been different. But I think now even this seat could be easily managed by the BJP.
Okay. Rahul, before we head into the break, one more question to you, and although we'll talk separately about Haryana as well, but let's not forget that, Delhi is surrounded on 3 sides by Haryana, and when Aam Aadmi Party was talking about the alliance politics with Congress, it was trying to have that, same kind of arrangement in the state of Haryana as well. So how do you see this triangular contest in the national capital having a rollover effect in the nearby regions? There are at least 3 parliamentary constituencies in Haryana which are bordering the national capital.
You actually brought in a very unique situation which Delhi faces. Because if you understand Delhi's population, many people have come into Delhi from various other states, whether it's Bihar or UP or some other places like Haryana and other places. So it puts Delhi in a very unique situation, because as somebody was in our panel was saying that only the national issues will affect Delhi. It is not like that, because this population will also look at their states, what is happening in their states, who is ruling in which party is ruling in their state, and what kind of issues that they are facing in their own state, and that also influences their mind. It is not only about Delhi, this is also about what they are facing back at home in their own states. So the influence on the minds of Delhi voters are multiple. Of course, the national issues in Lok Sabha elections are the primary issues, but these issues will also affect them. Secondly, the Aam Aadmi Party's performance, whether a lot of issues which have been there in Aam Aadmi Party in previous days, whether it is infighting or kind of issues or performance issues or the bickering which was happening in Aam Aadmi Party, these issues are also in front of the voters, and they will decide how to treat Aam Aadmi Party in these Lok Sabha elections.
Okay. So, Praful, would you agree with what Rahul is pointing out? Clearly, what he's saying is that the migrant voters and the issues which are important to them, that those issues and those voters will have a very significant say in these 7 seats here, and then a rollover effect to the nearby seats as well.
Absolutely. And in fact, that the 2 points are not contradictory to each other. That's why Delhi makes it more national. Because you have impact of various states and various concerns of the voters from various states, that makes it truly national. So you have issues related to slum dwellers who are essentially migrant voters, and you have issues related to what is generally called as the Luton's Delhi. So you have to balance, and that's why from New Delhi to Northwest or East Delhi, you find totally different kind of configuration of the constituencies, and while selecting your candidates, you have to keep them in mind.
Okay, Professor Chaudhary, your point on that.
Elections in Delhi means elections are not for chief minister, elections are for prime minister.
Yeah, they are.
So this would bring about a difference between the two.
But then, as both Mr. Ketkar and Mr. Mahajan is pointing out, it is an amalgamation. You see people from every state here. So, it's going to be a political flavor from all the states, specifically states which have a lot of people coming in here, be it Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal as well.
The demography is changing in Delhi. It has been changing over the years. But this changed demography will be changing the democracy as well. So I'm saying that the elections would have reflection for the post of prime minister, not for the post of chief minister.
Okay, and therein, obviously, the issues which matter to the people, be it the national or the local issues, both of them will be talked about and will eventually be the basis of whom the voter elects. So we'll take a short break here, but on the other side, we will talk about another northern state of Himachal Pradesh. Stay tuned.
Watch In Depth with me, Tina Jha, at 6 p.m.
Priya Dutt is not very accessible for the people. She doesn't mingle with the people easily.
I love working with people. So the question of me not being connected to people it's really baseless.
5 years, you've lost touch with the ground, you lost touch with the people.
I haven't lost touch with the people. My office was always open.
Your brother Sanjay Dutt campaigning for you?
Yes, of course. He will be campaigning for me.
Watch a special interview with the Congress leader, Priya Dutt, only on Rajya Sabha television. Enter the majestic forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan and you'll come across the Jaipur column. A gift to the Viceroy from Savai Madho Singh, the Maharaja of Jaipur, to commemorate the creation of the new capital. The 145-meter high column is crowned with 6 pointed crystal stars on a bronze lotus, and inside the stone shaft runs a steel tube which weighs a little more than 5 tons. The base of the column has text conceived by Lord Irwin and Sir Edwin Lutyens inscribed on it.
नेता बेशक राजनीति करें, लेकिन जनता का तो असली मतलब होता है अर्थनीति से, यानी वो नीतियां जो हमारी जेब पर असर डालें या फिर सुविधाओं में इजाफा करें। कैसा है भारत का आर्थिक वातावरण और क्या है हमारी चुनौतियां? सरल भाषा में आपके ये बुनियादी आर्थिक मुद्दे आप तक पहुंचाने के लिए राज्यसभा टीवी ने शुरू किया है ये खास कार्यक्रम अर्थनीति।
उनको इस देश की जनता का निश्चित तौर पे वो चुनाव भारी बहुमत से
और जो हाईकमान निर्णय देता है वो बहुत सोच समझ के लेता है।
Welcome back. The battle in the Himachal Pradesh political arena is without the titans this time. For almost 2 decades, the state's electoral politics has been a war for supremacy between the Congress and the BJP, and specifically the two stalwarts from these two parties, Veerbhadra Singh and Prem Kumar Dhumal. But the baton has now passed on. The state is ruled by the BJP and has first-time Chief Minister Jairam Thakur at the helm. Thakur is a 5-time legislator, winning continuously since 1998, and has the responsibility of ensuring that his party retains all 4 seats it had won in 2014. From Hamirpur, Prem Kumar Dhumal's son Anurag Thakur will try to win for the 4th consecutive row. The Congress, which has won this seat only once in the last 30 years, has fielded former wrestler and 5-time legislator Ramlal Thakur. The Congress party is hopeful of an anti-incumbency wave working in its favour. The Congress is fielding former Union Minister Sukhram's grandson Ashray Sharma from Mandi and former MP and former State Minister Colonel Dhaniram Shandil from Shimla seat. Voting for the 4 Lok Sabha seats in the state will be held in the last phase on 19th of May. Okay, so now let's take a look at what has been the situation in the state of Himachal Pradesh in terms of facts and figures, specifically about the previous 2 Lok Sabha elections and the assembly elections as well. Tina, over to you.
See, Vishal, if we look at the previous 2 Lok Sabha elections, that of 2009 and 2014, we see that the people of Himachal Pradesh have reposed faith in the Bharatiya Janata Party to form the government at the centre. In 2009, of the 4 Lok Sabha seats in Himachal Pradesh, the BJP had won 3 seats, while the Congress managed to get just 1 seat, that of Mandi, which is a stronghold of the Congress party. Veerbhadra Singh was the lone winner for the party in the state in 2009. The BJP kept up with its stellar performance in the Hill state in 2014 as well, further improving its performance with a sweeping victory on all 4 parliamentary seats. In 2009, the BJP garnered a vote share of 49.6%, while the Congress party got 45.6% of the votes. Now, between 2009 to 2014, the BJP not just improved its tally, but also its vote share by nearly 4%. From 49.6% votes in 2009, the BJP improved its vote share to 53.8% in 2014. The Congress, which drew a blank in the state in the 2014 general elections, got about 41% votes in Himachal Pradesh. One interesting aspect about Himachal Pradesh is that barring 2014, the people of the state have mostly backed the ruling party in the state in the Lok Sabha as well. So while the BJP may seem to have an advantage on that front, it still faces an uphill task of defending all 4 parliamentary seats in Himachal Pradesh. Now, as far as the assembly polls are concerned, the people of Himachal Pradesh usually vote out the ruling party every 5 years, meaning that the Congress party and the BJP wrest power from each other every 5 years, a rotating government every 5 years in Himachal Pradesh. Now, in the 2012 assembly elections, the BJP had won 26 seats. The Congress party got 10 more than the BJP. It emerged victorious on 36 seats, while 6 remaining seats were won by independents and others. By the year 2017, when the next elections were held in Himachal Pradesh, the people voted the Congress out of power and elected the BJP. The party won 44 of the 68 assembly seats in 2017, while the Congress was reduced to just 21 seats in the state. The 3 remaining seats were won by others. Now, what was surprising in these elections was, while the BJP posted a remarkable victory, its chief ministerial candidate, Prem Kumar Dhumal, lost the elections from Sujanpur assembly seat. Now, let's take a look at the vote share of both these parties in 2012 and 2017 assembly elections. In 2012, the BJP got 38.47% votes and stood in the 2nd place. The Congress, which got 36 seats, got 42.8% votes, while 18.7% votes went in favor of the others. In 2017, the BJP improved its vote share by almost 10 percentage points, from 38% to 48.79%. Although the Congress lost several seats, its vote share came down only by 1%. It got 41.68% votes in 2017. 9.53% of votes went in favor of the others. So while the BJP is looking forward to win all the 4 seats in the state once again, meaning a clean sweep in Himachal Pradesh one more time, the Congress, of course, will try to stop the BJP to make a sweep once again. Vishal.
Well, thank you so much, Tina, out there for bringing that detailed information to us on both the seats as well as the vote percentage, and quite, very interesting figures out there. So let's begin our discussion on that. And let me begin this time around again with you, Rahul, not only because it is your home state, but also because of the fact that, again, this is a very interesting contest out there. And the way you have seen in the past few decades how it has been BJP versus Congress. And in terms of vote percentage, I was looking at the numbers which Tina was pointing out. For Congress, in the last 2 elections, it has not been much, luck as far as winning seats is concerned. But in terms of vote percentage, they've stuck to around 41%. So how do we interpret this?
Let me just tell you something about the state itself. It's a very small state with 4 Lok Sabha constituencies. It is a state where it has high percentage of education. It is a state with low corruption. It is a state where many people are employed in the government services, state government services, and they are a deciding factor as far as any elections are concerned.
Okay.
The second thing is that many people are employed in rural areas, and the major source of income is horticulture. So they, and again there, the apple growers have a big say as far as Himachal elections are concerned. Then there are states like Kangra, then there are constituencies like Kangra or places like Kangra and Una and other places where people are more oriented towards BJP. If I take you through all the constituencies like Hamirpur, Kangra, Mandi and Shimla, these are the 4 constituencies. Hamirpur traditionally is a BJP voting constituency, and if you'll go through the previous history of this constituency also, in most of the time BJP has been the people of these constituencies have been given vote to BJP itself. As far as Kangra is concerned, it is considered to be under the influence of veteran leader of BJP, Shantakumar, who is not contesting election this time.
Okay.
But in last 4 Lok Sabha elections, 3 Lok Sabha elections, this constituencies have voted for BJP. Same if we go to Mandi. Mandi is considered to be traditionally Congress voting constituency, and area of influence of Veerbhadra Singh, who is a veteran leader of Congress. And same, the thing is that 2 times in last 4 elections it has voted for BJP, 2 times it has voted for Congress.
Okay.
Now Shimla, as far as Shimla is concerned, then it's you can say the voting pattern has been mixed. The Dhaninam Shandil, who was earlier with the HVC and later he joined Congress, has been voted twice from this constituency. He has been a winner from this constituency, and in last 2 elections, 2009 and 2014, Virendra Kashyap of BJP won the election from this constituency, but this time Virendra Kashyap is not contesting the election from the constituency. So this is how you analyze the state.
Okay.
As far as Vidhan Sabha elections are concerned, this election for the state is concerned, as Tina was explaining, the pattern is quite simple. People of the state has decided that they are going to give chance to BJP once, and then in the next election they will vote that BJP out, and then take that bring Congress in. And in the next election, they will vote Congress out and then bring BJP in. This has been the pattern of the state as far as assembly elections are concerned.
Okay, so that's quite a apt summary in terms of all the four Lok Sabha constituencies and the way state votes for assembly as well. But Mr. Ketkar, if we look at this election, one very interesting aspect here in Himachal Pradesh is again the fact that the stalwarts are missing in action from both parties. Prem Kumar Dhumal from BJP, Veerbhadra Singh, though he is a legislator, but is seemingly not running the show this time around for the Congress in these elections. So it's basically Gen Next for both parties in these elections. New faces, new leaders, new strategy.
Even as Rahul has pointed out, Shanta Kumar.
Yeah, Shanta Kumar as well.
It is a change of leadership. In Himachal, I think the national issues and the armed forces also play. Uttarakhand and Himachal are two hill states where there is, a lot of villages, they are very proud of sending their children to armed forces. So that is one critical issue. Tourism is one critical issue. See, these are classic, bi-party states. Himachal is one such case where, if you go through the history of Rajasthan also, for example, is classic bi-party where if you are not satisfied, again the anti-incumbency, we should not forget the fact that many a times anti-incumbency is not actually against the government per se, but many a times it is against the sitting MLAs or MPs.
The public representatives.
In a state like Himachal, where assembly is comparatively very small and parliamentary seats also are only 4. There it's very difficult to replace the sitting MP. At the same time you face a very high volume of anti-incumbency against the sitting MP. So it's a very catch-22 kind of situation for any party. And that's why you find very difficult, though there are, as Rahul has rightly pointed out, there are traditionally there are voting patterns. But if you see the shift, especially at the assembly level, national level, I don't think BJP will have much of a problem as far as Himachal is concerned. Jairam Thakur, by and large, because again I would like to disagree on one point with Rahul. Compared to other states, it may be low, but as far as Veerbhadra Singh is concerned, there were a lot of allegations regarding corruption. There, I think Jairam Thakur has comparatively done much better. So there, the dual performance of BJP will be judged, and it will certainly have impact in the coming elections.
Okay, so the performance of the state government will also count up. Professor Chaudhary, would you, how do you rather look at the situation here, and would you agree with the fact that the state government's performance also this time would count, because it's the same party which is ruling the state and the same party which is ruling the centre as well. They formed a majority government in 2017. It has been almost 2 years now.
In Himachal, there is another very important characteristics, that is the works undertaken by the new government, that is by Mr. Thakur. So Jairam Thakur's performance and his image, incredible image, a very honest, committed and accessible to all sections of society, including the Congress. So that's one very important factor which would bring about a change, in fact retaining all 4 seats from Himachal. Secondly, I would say that this organization is very, very strong in Himachal Pradesh. So even some of the fallacies, some of the poor performance or in terms of anti-incumbency of against some of the candidates or BJP candidates may be taken care of by the strong organizational strength in Himachal Pradesh. Thirdly, I would say that the young generation is there. All 4 seats are being contested by the young leaders, but they all are getting support from the old Turks, the stalwarts of the BJP. So I think this would bring about, whether it is Dhumal or it is Shanta Kumar, all are going to support all these 4 candidates. The last seat, I think Shimla seat could be slightly crucial, because that's a seat where Mr. Kashyap, Suresh Kashyap, who is from Indian Air Force. So as Praful has rightly stated, that armed forces and defense forces do play an important role over there, and we have a number of people coming from those areas, those services. So this would bring about a some support for that Shimla seat to the BJP candidate.
Okay. Rahul, when we're talking about seats, and this, since the state has only 4 seats, you explained in detail about what are the equations on each seat. But all eyes will be set on one particular seat, that is Hamirpur, wherein Anurag Thakur of the BJP is going to seek re-election for the 4th consecutive term. How do you think the situation might play out there in terms of this electoral battle? Also, given the fact that in the previous assembly elections, his father was a chief ministerial candidate, and ironically, he lost the seat while his party won the election.
I'll come to this and answer your question in a while, but I'll want to bring in 2 points right now. One thing is that in Himachal, both Congress and BJP are changing. There is a change of guard in BJP and Congress. As far as BJP is concerned, 2 very important leaders, which is the Shanta Kumar and Prem Kumar Dhumal, they are fading away. And the reign of the party, or you can say the new leadership, is in the form of Jairam Thakur.
Okay.
And on the other side, if you look at Congress also, Veerbhadra Singh has been there for quite some time. He is old, and the new leadership in Congress is also taking shape. If I could name a few people, is Mukesh Agnihotri or Anand Sharma, or you can say Dhaniram Shandil also. So there is a change of guard which is happening in Himachal Pradesh. On the other count, when we are talking about that corruption charges of Veerbhadra Singh, we should not forget that if there was ever a biggest corruption charge in Himachal Pradesh on a political leader, that was Sukhram. And Sukhram has won elections in Himachal, even after the serious charges of corruption were put on Sukhram in the past.
And this time around, it's his grandson who's been given the ticket by the Congress.
In terms of whether elections are won by only those people who don't have corruption charges against them, and people who have corruption charges against them do not win elections, that will be wrong analysis of the election itself. As far as the seat of Hamirpur is concerned, and Anurag Thakur trying to again with this seat, I have already explained that Hamirpur is traditionally BJP seat, and I don't think Anurag Thakur will face a tough time winning this seat.
Okay. On the corruption part, Professor Chaudhary, the way Rahul has put forth his viewpoint, in terms of issues, if you look at that ways, you also see corruption being one of the major issues there being talked about?
Yeah, corruption has remained an important issue, but not a very big issue in Himachal Pradesh, because the organizational strength, the organizational projections for parties, whether it is put up by the Congress or the BJP, so the leaders have remained very important over there in Himachal Pradesh. Corruption, I think from 2011 onwards, when corruption became an important part of the electoral politics all across India, including Delhi and Himachal and other parts of the country. So there then corruption became an important issue, but it was again one of the important issues, not the only issue in Himachal Pradesh politics. So I would still say that the strength of the organization, whether it is BJP or on, or secondly, the leaders put up by both the political parties in the elections are going to bring about difference. And thirdly, I would say that in case of Hamirpur, Anurag Thakur has seems to be very good going. But I think one change could be seen in terms of that one of the BJP leaders, Suresh Chandil, has left BJP and joined the Congress. How is it going to affect some part of the votes for the BJP in Hamirpur is going to be seen in the elections?
Okay, Praful, your point of view, corruption, yes, obviously the way it looks like both parties saying, but if we look at seat-wise, the kind of contest which we see between both parties, traditionally it is always going to be Congress versus BJP, but this time around, the way both parties have put up their candidates, how do you see the fight from seat to seat?
See, Hamirpur was always BJP's stronghold. So was Shimla. But the way one demography is changing, especially in the hilly areas, the demography is changing very fast.
Okay.
people are moving towards plains. Young generation is not ready to stay in those difficult conditions, and the infrastructure issues and the tourism related issues are taking, and that's why we see a different kind of pattern coming out, not just from Himachal. You will see the similar kind of thing even in Uttarakhand. So that's why I feel that the new issues and new leadership is a requirement for, and that's why young people, even for that matter, one of the biggest strengths for Anurag is perhaps his connect with the youth there, and the kind of the way he handles issue, even when he was by and large in Delhi and handling even BCCI and other things, his connect with the constituencies. But I think this is going to be a testing ground for BJP's organizational strength. Whether after fading out of Shanta Kumar and Prem Kumar Dhumal, Jairam Thakur has regain that and control over the organization, and whether that organization machinery is working for the election purpose or not. That is going to be,
and whether or not it can give them the same results as they've been getting in the previous elections. That brings me to another important question, Rahul. And apart from all the generic issues which we always talk about, the issue of corruption, the issue of infrastructure as well, but significantly, if you look at the state of Himachal Pradesh, it is one of the hilly states India has. So in terms of being a hilly state, it has its own needs, it has its own requirements, and the issues also for the local people might differ from the neighboring states like, say, Punjab or Haryana. So what exactly, in terms of local issues, if you look at it that way, is for the people, what might be the issue this time around, which they might be looking for both the national parties to address?
Well, you have put it very rightly, and in Himachal Pradesh, if I could point out few issues which are, because the other day I was interviewing Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, and he was also agreeing that in Himachal Pradesh there are few issues which are the main issues for the public of Himachal Pradesh, which are, if I could name them, one is that what kind of development is happening in Himachal Pradesh, whether connectivity, especially in terms of connectivity. Roads is a big issue in Himachal Pradesh because it's very difficult to build roads in Himachal Pradesh because of the weather conditions and the local conditions in Himachal Pradesh. The another issue is the unemployment. Look, in Himachal Pradesh, which is a small state, 13% unemployment rate is there. More than 9.80 lakh people are unemployed, which is youth. Though in last 1.5 years, the Chief Minister is trying to do his best to give as many jobs in the state government to youth of Himachal Pradesh, but because there is a slow industrialization of Himachal Pradesh, the task has been quite difficult for any government in Himachal Pradesh. The third issue is that the price of agriculture, especially apple, price of apple is a big issue in Himachal Pradesh. There was a continuous demand from apple growers that the import duty on apple should be raised, so that the apple from various other countries like America and other places like China, the apple grower of Himachal Pradesh could compete with the pricing of those apples. And this has been a consistent issue in Himachal Pradesh for quite some time.
Okay, so clearly there are going to be, issues specific to the region and specific to the state there as well for the people. Thank you so much, Rahul, Praful and Professor Chaudhary for being with us and giving us that insight on these two states. That is the capital, Delhi, and the northern state of Himachal Pradesh. So we'll come back again tomorrow with a different state and we'll bring you the details of the electoral battle going on there between various political parties and the issues which are important for the people. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.